Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book, and
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a visual.
Proud of it. Just in the nick of time.
Yes. Good morning, boys and girls. It's National Lemon Day, and Stephanie and I are dressed for a funeral.
I know. Honestly, we were like, all right, well, we're going to wear lemons. We're going to be yellow and bright and uplifting.
I was going to bring a bottle of limoncello this morning, but then I decided doing shots at
I have enough problems.
8 o'clock in the morning probably wasn't a good way to start
my
the day.
act together. Although I'm not against it, but today I got a lot of meetings.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't bring it, but just know that I have it. It's been in the freezer for a while, so it's going to be really, really
Maybe
good.
Thursday.
Okay. Yeah, after the demolition derby and everything at the fair, probably need something.
It's always a good day at day drinking. Starting at 7:30 in the morning.
There you go.
Because it's like 2 days. You're in bed by noon.
Mm-hmm.
You're back up by 3. You're ready to go.
That's right. There you go.
I do not suggest this. I do not condone this. But every once in a while, Vacation Stephanie comes out, and she's a good time.
But if you try it, let us know how it works out for you, okay?
Yes, please. How was the rest of your weekend? I heard good news.
Yes, we had a very harrowing weekend with one.
That was traumatic.
One of Mariana's cats. The very long story short was that it was a very traumatic few days for Nala, who is one of Mariana's cats, the smaller one, who hides all the time, even in their house, and they can't find them. But she was sick Saturday morning. They ended up taking her to the emergency room up in Plymouth because for some reason the folks in Bourne said that throwing up wasn't serious enough, but that's another story. And they went to PetSmart because they needed more cat food. And somehow Nala got out of the carrier.
Who loses a cat?
And they couldn't find her. I guess that I guess it was one of those soft carriers where you put them in from the top and you got to zip it around and everything. And I guess it was open by like that much. And she was so scared from being sick, from being in the emergency room. And then they took her into PetSmart because they didn't want to leave her in the car. And there were dogs all over the place. So the thing must have been beside itself. And Logan turned around just to grab a bag of cat food. And when he looked back down, the cat was gone. They tore the store apart. Couldn't find it. Mariana was just a mess. So obviously the folks at PetSmart do have some experience doing this. And they put out a quote unquote trap and put some food in it, put Mariana's blanket in it. And this morning at, 6:30, my phone was ringing. It was Megan telling me that the manager at PetSmart had called and the cat was in the...
Thank the Lord.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That is traumatic.
That's a big store. And if it's a tiny cat that likes to hide...
Yeah, and not in a familiar area.
Not in a familiar area. And even though Mariana actually had blisters on her feet from all the walking that they had done around PetSmart trying to find the cat. It was
that's so sad.
A horror show. But it has a happy ending. Yay. Wow.
Yeah, you're really lucky because I did not. I was like, I did not have high hopes for that situation. So.
No, and they checked the security cameras, so she didn't run out. What I was starting to think was someone saw her just kind of wandering, and instead of doing the right thing, picking it up and taking it to the manager saying, geez, we just found this cat. It must have got away from somebody. They picked her up and they took her home for their own.
You think?
That's what I was starting to think.
Oh, no. She was definitely scared as heck. And
I know. But if they couldn't find her, I'd figure, okay, if she got out, that's probably how she got out.
I've had a cat stolen before. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
What?
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Miss Kitty in a minute.
Miss Kitty. Okay.
Wendy, Jen, how are you guys this morning? Susan, hi. How are you? I miss your face. Jamie, Angie, you made it back to Wisconsin. I love your new tattoo. You made me cry even more yesterday.
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Cindy, hello. Good morning, muchachos. And hi, Kayla. How are you?
Get my phone. I always turn my phone down.
Damn it, that's you, Hank.
Damn it, that's me again. Sorry, folks.
So we had this
I'm
cat.
new at this.
We always, we get the cats that don't want to come in the house. They're outside cats for whatever reason. We end up with them. Feral little things that they are. So we had one called Jinxie. And
Jinxie. Oh, good.
Yep. Jinxie liked to roam the neighborhood.
Okay.
And we got a message from one of our neighbors. We need to talk about the cat. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
So she literally made us go over her house and sit down like it was like an intervention.
Yeah.
And she was like, we need to talk about Miss Kitty. I think Miss Kitty's pregnant. And I said, are you talking about my cat? Miss Kitty is our cat. We've been feeding her. I said, well, first of all, Jinx is a boy.
Right.
And Jinx is fixed.
Right.
So there's no way Miss Kitty's having any babies.
Right.
I said, the only reason why Miss Kitty's getting fatter is because you keep feeding her. And obviously she's going to keep coming over here.
Oh, geez.
She ended up taking the cat and moved to Florida. I'm not even joking.
You're
she
kidding.
Literally stole my cat.
Oh, that's terrible. We found one of our cats living when we lived in Attleboro, living across the street from us. We had this is a weird story. We lived in front of
cattails, everybody.
Right. We lived in front of Thatcher Middle School. It was our house and then woods and then the middle school. And this
brought back some really
I'm sure it did.
Memories for me.
This was back when Megan was I don't know how old Megan was.
I went to middle school there.
Really?
Yes.
I was probably living there.
I went to Peter Thatcher. I was there.
Who was the principal? Mr. Forster?
It was Mr. Rose at the very end of it, the gym teacher.
Right.
And before that, it was a woman.
Oh, okay.
Fitzgerald, maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
I was never in trouble.
At any rate, Megan and I, were leaving the house and we saw somebody come down the driveway into the school, park like in front of the woods, take a bag out of their car and put the bag in the woods. And I said, that looks weird. I'm going to go check it out. Check it out, went over to the bag. And there's this little orange kitten in it.
Oh my God, I can't. People are so gross.
So I said, okay, well, we're going to pick it up. Took it to the vets. It was fine. Megan named the cat Pizza.
I love it.
Named it Pizza. We're getting ready to come down the Cape and we're loading up the cars and the doors open of the house and we're coming and going. And we're finally getting ready to leave. And we had two cats. I forget the name of the other one. And we found one, but we didn't see Pizza and figured, got to be in the house somewhere. I had to leave a pager, remember pagers, in the mailbox for a colleague of mine because I was going on vacation, and we left. We come back, we can't find Pizza.
Poor Pizza.
So I said something. So my colleague comes and when I get back to the office and gives me the pager back and says, I saw an orange cat sitting on your porch. I said,
that's Pizza.
You did? I said, that's Pizza. She said, oh my God, I didn't know if it was yours or whatever. Months later, we look across the street and who's sitting in the window of the house across the street? Pizza.
You were unavailable.
And we didn't have that much of a relationship with the people across the street. It was kind of one of those, hey, how you doing, wave kind of things.
That's funny.
So we never went over months and months later and said, excuse me, but I think you...
All's well ends well.
You stole my cat.
Well, you found it in a bag in the woods. So,
yes,
Pizza lived.
Pizza lived, yes.
That's the bonus of this conversation. Good morning, Miss Lynn. Hey, Emily. Deb, thanks for joining us on the show this morning.
Yes, Miss Mari has checked in.
It is National Lemon Day.
Yes, lemon tree, very pretty.
If you're playing any of our trivias or music bingos this week, you will notice a theme with our trivia. We had Tobias. Mm-hmm. We were training him yesterday from the college, and he's ready to go. Mm-hmm. One of our trivias is Westerns, and he's one of those people that wears a cowboy hat all the time, year round.
Cool.
So I was like, well, he's not just here for viewing. He also wears that all the time. He loves it. It's his style.
Good.
Who's ready for tomorrow at the Derby? I don't know if I am. No, we're ready.
We're ready. We'll be there.
I know. 7:00 is when the Demolition Derby is. And we've got no sound on YouTube, but Facebook works fine. Maybe it's a YouTube problem, Cindy. I don't know. We'll have to figure out what's going on over on the YouTube stream right there.
Yeah.
But I do have a check-in from the Barnstable County Fair, and here it is. I'm here outside of the youth exhibitors area where kids come and show off their crafts, baked goods, science experiments, American pride, anything that they want to showcase here at the Barnstable County Fair. Now, while they get ribbons, this is a less competitive area. Everybody gets a ribbon to show off some of their crafts.
Hi, my name's Peyton. Clover buds are kids what are under 7 and do not get judged. These are Tori's little flowers, and these are Tori's little you made those? Squishies.
Join the entire Lemonadio crew Wednesday, July 24th at 7 o'clock in the main arena for the world's largest demolition derby. And check back with us here at Lemonadio for an insider view every day this week from the Barnstable County Fair.
Really cute.
Super cute little Tori. We had Peyton walking us around in the little kids area. They did everything, like ran the gamut from making dog treats to cakes, pies, floral arrangements, this really cool grocery store, it was like a dollhouse grocery store.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
like very detailed.
Mhm.
I was thoroughly impressed. Like some of these things I was blown away that these children have made, and
Right.
they've got them on display. So when you go to the Barnstable County Fair, I know it's all exciting with all of the rides and stuff like that, but do pop into some of the exhibitors because they're pretty impressive. Tomorrow we'll see what the adults have cooked up, and we get to talk to Judy Collins, who's the director of the adult exhibitors, and she's funny. She's great. Her daughter was laughing. She goes, "What channel is this going to be on? Because I want to hear her. All of my friends love her accent."
Oh, what kind of an accent does
It
she
is a
have?
very Boston accent.
Oh, really? One of my own.
It's an extreme Boston accent. You know the difference.
Yes, I do. Oh, yeah. I know a real Boston
Right?
accent.
Right.
I've managed to lose mine, but
We've morphed into our non-regional dialect for
Right.
sure.
every now and then it comes out. I'll be listening to myself on Lemonade and I'll go, "Oh, God, you didn't say that."
Trust me, Wendy, I know there's a fair in the air because yesterday when I was on my way to Dino's and we got there and we got set up and we're like 20 minutes early and I'm feeling good. And then I'm like, where are the microphones? Oh, I have to go home.
And how did that work out for you?
I got there exactly at 6:01. So it was fine.
Wow.
But I sat in a fair amount of traffic. So it was not great.
Well, coming down the street to get here, they've got the lanes defined and you go here, you can go there. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh."
It's on.
And the neon signs, fair, Barnstable Fair, police officer ahead, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, some of the businesses in the areas just close. I know that
Right.
the pizza place around the corner just closes. It's like, that's it. We'll see you after the fair.
Yeah. Well, it's a good time for them to take vacation, I
Right?
guess.
Yeah, it is a good time
Yeah.
to plan if you're right in the thick of it and there's nothing you can do.
So everybody who likes to comment on the county news pages, okay? Don't get shrondies in a bunch. There's no need for running commentary about the traffic in the fair.
Oh,
We all know.
that's my favorite part is when people flip out about dumb stuff.
Yeah, but come on. It's like,
It's something to do. It's like a TV show
I
where you're
guess.
just sucked into the comment section of just like one stupid person after the next. And you can always tell the taunter,
Mhm. Yeah,
the person that's just saying things to incite a riot.
right,
It's like,
right,
I know you, and I know you don't even care about that.
right, right. And I just we talked about this before we went on. I want to send a shout out to all the moderators of the local county news pages and other kinds of things, who many of whom are finally, let's say finally, are cracking down on the tenor of the discussion. In particular, for example, Stacia Bradley, who runs Sandwich Scoop, she's had it up over her ears with the tenor, and
She said it fairly recently.
She said it very recently, and then this weekend the vice president came, and traffic was a little messed up on 130 because she flew into the base, and people went berserko, and it went way beyond, gee, how come the traffic's backed up? And she really, really came out strong. And I just want to applaud her for doing it. And I know moderators of other pages are really coming out strong now that we're just not going to do this here. And it has nothing to do with who you're supporting for president, okay? Get over yourself. Has nothing to do with it. Most of the world doesn't see life through who you're supporting for president. Just forget it. And that's all I'm going to say, because you know what I mean.
Yeah, there was a lot of traffic, but there was a lot of activities. It's summer on the Cape.
Right.
There's going to be traffic.
That's right.
I literally tell you every Friday to pack your patience. You know.
Right, right. And look at folks, it's kind of cool the vice president came, whoever the vice president is.
Yeah, right. Whenever RTB was sending me photos of Secret Service in his front lawn, I'm like, yes,
Yes.
that is so weird, but very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. Just enjoy it,
I know.
really.
We're involved. They have to deal with all of that stuff on the vineyard where we've had several sitting presidents live and stay.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's no different. We had a ton of stars here. Jennifer Coolidge was here.
Really?
One of our friends was asked to do her makeup and she couldn't. She was previously engaged.
Oh, gee.
So she was devastated.
Oh,
She's
wow.
like, I am so upset. I wanted to have this job so badly.
Right.
And then I saw somebody with a photo with her.
Mhm.
Listen, everybody loves the Cape, including celebrities. So
That's right.
we are chock full of people and roads get shut down and things get shut off.
Right. And apparently RTB had his photo taken with a star.
Which one?
Oh, he was talking about it on Friday, wasn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I can't keep track of all the people that he meets. Everybody
Yes.
thinks he's the star. He makes me laugh.
Oh, okay.
Anytime we go somewhere.
No, he had his
Was
picture
it
taken
Billy Porter?
with no. I think he was talking about some kind of adult star.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one. You have to be careful on what star you're referring to, Hank.
Well, I kind of
That's
wanted to tiptoe through it, you know?
Well, you have to barrel into things with me. I
Right.
do
Well,
not.
you don't know if the children are watching, and you don't need someone writing in. What about
That's
the
it.
children?
It's a grown-up star. There you go. Nate, good morning. 4 days until you head to Pittsburgh. He's visiting West Virginia University and Pitt as well. Very exciting stuff. Jen, yes, Hank, thank you very much.
Right.
Meredith, Slater, Kyle, Tara, thank you all for joining us on the show this morning.
Hello to you all. I can't see all your names, but I'm not being unsociable. I just can't see them all.
Well, one of my daily question of the day is, what is a red flag to you? And since we're talking about complaining on town pages, a lot of the red flags, and they don't necessarily have to be dating red flags. I feel like just people in general red flags where you're like, I do not want to be in a conversation with this human.
Right.
Right. Just any red flags whatsoever. Feel free to drop it in the chat of our question, which we ask every single day. It's usually the first thing. I had this weird dream this morning and it was like some person that was off and I couldn't tell why he was off, but he was just off, even smelled off. Have you ever smelled things in your dream?
No.
I don't know what was going on, but it just smelled off. Everything was off and I woke up in a panic.
Like the house wasn't burning down or something?
No, everything was fine. Everybody was doing what they were supposed to be doing. And I woke up and I was like, what's your red flag? I don't know. I feel like my own internal clock is telling me to beware today for some reason.
Wait a minute. You smelled something in your dream.
Yes.
You woke up and it inspired you to write what was your red flag?
Yeah, because I was having this bizarre dream
Okay.
about this human that just ticked a lot of my boxes.
Oh, okay. I
just
get
like
it.
being off,
Okay.
acting weird,
Mhm.
shady eyes, not looking at me when you're having a conversation. That's just that's a red flag for me. When someone can't just like look at you when they're talking to you and looking at the ground. I don't know what to do. You make me feel awkward.
Then I better turn this way.
Look at me, Hank. Look at me.
Do I look at the folks out there or do I look at you?
You're right. Both.
Both. Okay.
Get there. But don't make yourself dizzy today. The famous comedian he shared a gig with. Yes. Shark in the water, red flag. Sure. Yep, we don't go there. Good morning, Miss Megan. Who else? Oh my gosh. We got a lot of great people here. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. So speaking of red flags, there was one of our celebrity stories this morning.
Yes.
And as someone who has a difficult relationship with a parent, I saw this and I was like, what triggered this response? I guess Shiloh Jolie Pitt took out a full page ad in the newspaper.
Okay.
Saying that her last name is no longer Pitt. This is not my last name anymore. I'm just Shiloh Jolie.
Okay. Why?
Right?
Yeah.
What did you do, Brad Pitt? I have so many questions why one would want to take out a full page ad to denounce your father.
That's strange. I mean,
right?
if you want to change your name and just go by your mother's name, okay, cool. Just do it.
But in the grand scheme of things, nobody cares. It's not something that you would take out a paper in the LA Times.
No.
A whole page.
There seems to be some bad blood
between
her and him, between, Angelina
They're not
Jolie
even officially divorced. Did you know that?
No.
They're not even officially divorced yet.
How long has this been going on?
I don't know. 8 years.
Oh.
Like forever.
So then what's the
money? Money and a pile of kids, and apparently kids that don't like him. So
apparently,
I just need to know what's going on. When someone is way too loud in a conversation for no reason, it's a red flag. It's like they're trying to nudge themselves into the conversation. All right, Nate, I'm digging it. I'm just so curious. What is that trauma there?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't seem like a bad guy, but I guess we don't know.
Speaking of the person that I have a weird relationship with, she also took out a full page ad in the Sun Chronicle at one point.
She did?
When she was mad at one of her siblings.
No.
Oh, yeah. Like this. Yeah. And it was right next to when I forget which priest was retiring. So everybody in our community saw it.
And what did he? I don't recall seeing this.
I'm not going to bring up old trauma. Just know that it was bad. It really upset the sibling to the point where I don't even know. They didn't. I don't think they spoke for a decade.
And the Sun Chronicle accepted the ad?
Yep.
Wow.
Because she did it jovially, like it was funny. Like someone there probably thought it was funny.
Oh, okay.
But it definitely was not.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Joe? She took it petty. Yeah, it is petty.
Yeah. Wow. I
took petty and upped it up a notch. 100%.
Yep.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I saw a post this morning on my Facebook page, and I'm not quite sure who the person was, but Mari may have seen it, and it was something about, thanks to all my friends on social media for watching my back, blah 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 blah, and then there's this comment that says, "You're a horrible person, and you trigger me," and all this other stuff. Look for it, Mari. You'll see it. If it is who I think it is, well, I'm not sure who it is, so I'm not gonna. I just don't get it.
I love public meltdowns.
Right.
Hot take. What's happening there? As RTB says, I'm a 9-year-old with internet access, but also I just get like, ooh, this is a show. What's happening? Let's go. Sit back, give me the popcorn. I am that Michael Jackson meme. I just turn into this. I'm involved.
Right. And I honestly don't know what this one was all about, but if it's something that showed up on my Facebook page, apparently I know this person from somewhere.
I also like the vague booking where people don't put exactly what the problem is. They just talk around the problem, enticing everybody to go, "What's wrong? How are you?"
That's just looking for
I'm
for
thinking
attention.
Of you. Yeah. It's a kid's version of I'm looking for attention. Notice me.
Right. Exactly.
Hi, Erica. Thanks for joining us on the show. Hopefully our YouTube channel has audio. If not, I don't know.
Yep. Just follow the comments on the bottom now.
Yeah, right. We're on Facebook too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Put it on closed caption. All right. So we had a couple more deaths over the weekend. These ones were a little bit more reasonable age bracket wise. The last of the four tops has passed. He was 88 years old.
And was he still performing?
Last year he retired.
Wow. Okay, folks. Now
Did that make him die?
I don't know. Could be. Now listen, folks. Next year, when the four tops come to the tent, no complaining that there aren't any original members. Okay? We know this. That just a group of guys carrying on the tradition of the music. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
because we get it all the time with a number of groups. The Little River Band, #1, like there's a meltdown every time the Little River Band
You know what, though? We
comes.
like their tunes. And I got to tell you, my daughter is now working concessions at the Melody Tent, and that Fleetwood Mac tribute band, Drew.
Really?
I mean, these people, I had to go pick her up. They looked like they were channeling their inner Stevie Nickses. Everybody had caftans on, long hair. Everything smelled like patchouli when I picked her up. I was like, this is great. Good for you guys.
See, that's what I don't get. People will bang out the tent for a band that clearly isn't the band that it is, but they get their undies in a bunch when a group that is continuing the tradition of the actual band shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, the Temptations haven't been the Temptations for
There were
decade.
extra Temptations, though. When it was touring time, they're like, bring on the extra Temptations. We need to fill them in.
Steph, there are always extra Temptations.
Thanks, Hank. Like one of our friends, I forget, it was Jim Dandy. I think he might still be around this area. And I forget which group that he was in. And it was an old Motown group. And I really like, he would get up at karaoke and do some of his old Motown stuff.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wow, this is so incredible. He's one of the guys. And someone was like, he's the touring guy. He's not actually in the group.
Right.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, he's the guy that goes out.
But Jim was really, really good. He was very entertaining. We loved watching him sing. He was so good.
We have
he did Native New Yorker for me, and I so enjoyed it all the time.
We have tickets to the quote unquote Beach Boys.
Oh, okay.
In August. I'm just curious to see who the heck is actually there.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to be John Stamos and El Jardine?
I'll bring it on.
I mean,
we
that's
love John Stamos.
That's it. I mean, I don't think there are. I don't know if Bruce Johnson still, but he was an original. I mean, Bruce Johnson took Glenn Campbell's place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Beach Boys haven't been the Beach Boys for who knows.
Yeah. I like John Stamos, though. I could handle that.
Yeah. I know.
Sorry, it's my Full House thing. The Temptations are now a Rolling Stone. Yeah, and people are out of their minds, but the crazier, the better. You got it right, Ricky.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I've never understood why John Stamos decided to join the Beach Boys.
He was just out fairly recently talking about how therapy saved his life.
Right. Maybe he was joining the Beach Boys.
Yeah, right.
And he realized he wasn't as much of a train wreck as some of them.
Kokomo was over 35 years ago. Retire and go away.
I mean, the last time we saw them, which was a number of years ago, we took Megan because if Megan, you're going to love, and she hated it. But it's El Jardine or whoever it is, and he's older than me at that point, and they're singing some song, and he's got some girl dancers up who are young enough to be his grandchildren, and he's oogling them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is really creepy.
Yeah,
you know.
What else does he have? Like, that's it. That's it. He's got it.
Well, I guess if that's all you got, buddy. But geez, do you have to do it in public?
Yep. That's what makes him feel better about it. People are weird. Let's get weird. Good morning, Miss Jackie. She says hello to the both of us.
Hello.
Somebody else that passed over the weekend, Larry the crash test dummy, Whitney Ryback. 79 and he was on MASH. There, like the list of stuff that he was in,
right?
He was just kind of like the background guy,
right? You may not recognize his name, but if you Google it and you see his picture, you'll know exactly who he is.
Well, the reason why I brought it up is I saw that it was the 1980. He was like in the crash test dummy suits. I was like, how do you get credit for that? You were in a suit. But I felt like that yesterday driving around with my daughter. Still doesn't have her license.
You know, wouldn't life be easier for you? I mean, Lil, I love you. You know I do. But wouldn't it be easier for you since she's working at the tent many nights that she have her own license?
We had our driving lesson yesterday. I made her drive to the driving lesson yesterday.
Oh, good.
And she cried the whole time. I don't want to drive. I don't want to do this. I don't know how to do this. She drove perfectly, by the way. She didn't miss a beat. It wasn't an issue. I didn't feel terrified at all. And there's me like trying to be as flat as possible. You're fine. You're doing all right. Yep. You got the directional. You got it. Like, I don't know what to do when she's like that. Has anybody got a tip for dealing with someone that has extreme anxiety? Like, I really get it. I do understand. I'm not being hurtless, but it is so exhausting. It's painful. We paid for this. It's about to expire. It's like 2 years, and they're like, if you don't have your license, we're kicking you out of the program at this point. Like, get out of here.
Start all over
I know.
again.
And I'm like, at this point, well, she's 18. She doesn't even need to have driver's ed at this point. She can just go get her license.
No, you're right. You're
But
right. Do you have her drive to the tent?
Yeah.
When you take her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she doesn't she hates it. She absolutely hates it. It gives her, and I get it. We've had a lot of issues on the road. It is a scary place to drive around.
Oh, absolutely.
Here. It totally, but I don't know how to, she drives okay with me. She does not like driving with Cliff because he also has anxiety.
Oh.
So the two of them together in a car is just like, I go somewhere else. I put my earbuds on and I'm like, I like do my meditation because I absorb people's energy. And when I'm in the car or in a space with the two of them, with their both anxiety ratcheted up, I'm just like, is anybody else hot? Because honestly, my personality is like just very flat, very waver, like whatever it is, I take on whatever it is of other people. So when there's joy and excitement, I get extra joyful and excited. But when there's anxiety in the room, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to kill everyone.
Extra anxious.
Oh, bad. It's so bad. So I don't know what to do when I'm driving with her. And other than assume the very flat position.
Right.
And hope for my life.
Right. Go on your phone. I'm checking email, honey. You're doing a great job.
Right.
You know, and
but she literally had tears rolling down her face, like, I hate this. And then when we get there and she's like, okay, I'll see you later. I was like, it's so fake to me, but I know how it feels. And I don't know if she just needs to release that burst of energy a little bit.
Right.
But just me pulling out of the car, Emily had to pull the other car out of the driveway. And then I just like parked it in the middle of the street. And then comes an Amazon truck. And she's like, why did you do that? I'm like, just get out of the car, put your buckle on.
Right. And let's go.
Let's ease on the brake.
I mean, it's a straight shot right down 28. You get right out, boom, and you just go.
I feel like she makes it so painful so that I don't make her do it. And I totally understand it. Only I'm not relenting. She has to do it.
Right.
You gotta do it.
What is she going to do when she goes away to school?
Thankfully, she's going to school in the city so she can just bop around. She's like, I'm just going to live in the city and I'll never drive. Like, okay.
I mean, there are some people who don't. It took my youngest brother a number of years to get his license, but they also lived in Boston and the trolley stopped at the bottom of the street and the bus stopped in front of the house. There was no need for him to get his license. He went to Boston College. He could walk to campus. He just never got his license for a while. I mean, obviously he has it, but he was in no hurry, but he didn't need it.
Haley got her permit last Thursday. She's probably going to drive before Lily. I think Cody will drive before Lily. I'll tell you that right now. My mother-in-law never got her license.
My mother, God rest her soul, was going to get her license before I did. Then she was going to get her license before my younger brother did. Then she was going to get her license before Eric did. Never did.
No.
She was almost 91 when she died. Never had her license.
Cliff's grandmother also. Bertie never had her license.
Yep.
And my mother-in-law never had it. She didn't speak any English though. So
right. But my mother had drivers.
Yeah.
She had my dad, and then when my youngest brother got his license, she had him, and all her lady friends, they all drove.
Oh, okay.
So and again, the bus stopped right in front of the house.
Oh yeah. See, Maria didn't even need to go anywhere. It was like Portuguese store, church, where she worked, home.
Right.
She was good. She just walked that area. That was it. If you wanted to take her somewhere, she was happy. She was like when a dog gets to go for a day out. Where are we going? Woo. Head out the window. It was. She got so excited. Where are we going? We go to Chinese? No, we're not going to Chinese. Taking you to the doctor.
Never mind.
She loved that damn buffet in Attleboro. I'll tell you what.
Oh, she did. Which one?
The one that turned into the Blockbuster afterwards.
Oh, that one.
Right?
Actually, that one wasn't too bad.
No, it was good. I don't know what it was called.
Yeah,
we were Chinatown Garden people.
Right. Yes. Yep.
If you know, you know, and you always get
and Monku.
Yeah, that one too. If you were in South Attleboro,
right? I mean, the Monku
totally
was
different area.
Monku was still there.
Yep,
decades in business.
And their food is still exactly the same.
Yes.
Nothing has changed over there.
Haven't changed the recipe in, I don't know, 50 years.
That is too funny. What a blast from the past. Okay, stop making me have fall flavors too early, please.
Having what?
Fall flavors.
Oh, fall flavors.
Too early.
I thought you were saying false labor. I'm sorry.
No. Listen, I love everything fall. Apples, pumpkins. I love them all except pumpkin spice lattes. I love them all. But apparently M&M has released yesterday their pumpkin pie flavored M&Ms.
No.
In July.
No.
Pumpkin pie in July. We're doing Christmas in July just because it's Christmas in July.
Right.
Our good friends over at Cape Cod Beer have released their Christmas in July flavor. So if you are playing music bingo with us this week, you will definitely be getting a Christmas in July music bingo.
Oh, interesting.
I know. I was playing Bing Crosby last night, White Christmas, having a good laugh. It was fun. It was bopping along. It's fine for a hot minute when it's not appropriate. Come Christmas, I don't want to hear any of them because I've heard them all. I'm over them. And it's all we hear for a solid month and a half.
Right.
I know there are Christmas people out there that are like booing and throwing things at me right now. I'm just not into the Christmas music that starts at Thanksgiving and doesn't end until January. That's just not for me.
I know. Speaking of the fall, by the way, the Old Farmer's Almanac says that we can expect cooler temperatures this fall than usual.
Okay.
In direct opposite to the higher temperatures than usual.
They said we were supposed to have the world's worst winter last year
in the summertime. And the foliage will be at its peak by October 11th.
Oh. All right, foliage people.
So mark that down, boys and girls.
What did it say about the hurricane season?
If you want to go see the leaves, let me look.
Because I'm going on a cruise.
Yep.
For a good friend's birthday. And I don't need it to be canceled by a hurricane.
Let me see. This is more for
just weather.
Yeah, for here. For this area. So
Megan says, listen, Joanne Fabrics has Halloween stuff out. I just got stoked out of rolling my eyes so hard. Your show is all Christmas on Friday. It's what we do. We're radio people.
All right.
Of course we're going to play Christmas in July music. That's what we do.
And then you'll talk about it on the county news pages.
Absolutely.
What are they doing on W blah 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 blah?
What are the Red Sox doing?
Not good. They had the best record in baseball for the month of June, believe it or not.
And then you went and
July.
Visited them.
And then, well, yeah, but
then you went and saw a game.
I went and saw a game, and they were good. They won, I think. And they had the best record leading up to the All-Star break, and now they've lost 4 in a row. So this is not a good time to go on a losing skid because the trade deadline is coming up. And this is when management or ownership decides, are we going to buy players to make our team better, or are we going to dump players to save money because the season is at a loss?
I never understood that, why they waited until the last.
Yeah.
Hurrah.
Right. Well, they have to wait and see how they're doing, and it takes a while. And the weird thing is, we always used to think of the All-Star break as halfway through the season. It really isn't.
No, it's towards the end of the season.
They're already playing their 90th game or their 90th something game out of 162. So they're more than halfway done. But and the weird thing is, they're talking about bringing back players that they didn't sign, who wanted to sign, and they didn't. Nathan Eovaldi, Justin Turner. Let's bring them back. They didn't want to leave in the first place. Really?
Lynn says Matt Devlin. Question mark.
I don't know.
I saw some other All-Stars. Who else got inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, Adrian Beltre, who played 1 year for the Red Sox, never should have gotten away. But if you are longtime Red Sox fans and you have listened to the game on the radio for years and years and years, and a little bit on TV, Joe Castiglione, the longtime voice of the Red Sox, Joe Castig, he's been calling games, I want to say, for 40 years.
A long, long time.
And he received the Ford Frick Award, which is the media version of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that was kind of cool. That's been a long time in coming. He's been doing it for a long, long time.
Yeah. Congrats, Joe. You deserve that one for sure.
Yep. Can you believe it?
You can't not hear his voice when you hear
Oh,
a
no.
game. It doesn't
no.
make sense when you watch a game and you don't
hear
his voice.
And his son, by the way, is Duke Castiglione.
Yep.
Who's on Channel 5.
Pretty neat.
Yep.
It's a legacy thing. You got that voice.
Yep.
Poor Lily's got my voice.
And he doesn't do a full schedule anymore. He only does on 80 or 90 games because he's kind of cut back
that's a lot of games.
He's 78.
But once again, we just let the last of the Four Tops retired and then died. So don't be
Don't
that
stop.
guy.
Don't stop. Nope. Vince Scully retired. And after, it wasn't too long after that.
When you lose your purpose, you croak. So don't do that.
Right.
Keep going with whatever it is that you're doing. Good morning, Miss Gloria.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on the show. It is a gloomy day today. I don't know what we're going to get for rain or whatnot, but I think the next couple of days don't look like they're going to be the best.
No, it's going to be kind of icky blicky. I was supposed to play golf this afternoon, but I don't think I'm going to. Well, for one reason, the person I was going to play with canceled and decided he was going to work.
Oh.
So, and the other thing is, if the grass is wet, I probably don't want to be playing because
we don't need another incident.
We don't need another incident of me losing my footing on the grass and damn near killing myself. So
today is National Gorgeous Grandma Day. So
hey.
Shout out to all my hot grannies. How you doing, ladies? I did see a story about the blurred lines right now as things are getting more expensive and we're having multi-generational families live together.
Mm-hmm.
There are blurred lines of parenting and grandparenting going on.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 signs a grandparent has big trouble with boundaries, according to experts.
Okay.
And I know someone over here to my right, whatever my baby wants, my baby gets.
But that's being a grandfather.
Yes. Number 1, they ignore reasonable requests when a grandparent continues to fixate on a topic. That's not you. They wear the disguise of support.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only here helping you.
No, that's not me.
They have proven to be untrustworthy, obviously not you guys, or they use a sense of entitlement in any of those. So I'm just throwing this out there.
Mm-hmm. That's not me.
Grandmas
I'm none of those.
and grandpas. But mine are like, hey, listen, can you show up, please? Because your grandkids, we're the only ones that have the grandkids here. Come and see them.
Right.
And they're old. And they cry while they're driving. They need rides.
Right. They need rides. See, now that's what a good grandparent could do is give. That's one that I'm very good at, giving rides.
That's it. We could use a couple of drivers around here.
Right. All I need is a little black cat.
That's it.
I'll be good.
Please, my dad is busier in retirement than he is at like regular stuff. We had a family party. I was in the Burrows over the weekend.
Wow.
And one of my cousin's son's college graduation, I felt real old.
Ugh.
So it was like the full gamut of 3-4 generations of my Portuguese side of my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my dad 2 weeks ago, last week, talked to him 3 times last week. You going to the party? Oh no, I got my prep. I have my colonoscopy. All right, Dad, you could have just said no. Like, I could have just said no and it would have been fine.
Right.
So he's like, well, whatever, made this big thing. So I walk in, I'm seeing all my cousins. So, it took him a minute to register that I was actually at the family party.
Right. Oh my God, it's her.
I know it's in the summer and she left Cape Cod.
Right. That's the one we talk about.
Right. Guys, I'm here. So make sure I don't hear it. Talk amongst yourself. So I walk in, I'm seeing everybody and I'm like, is that my dad? I go weird. I'm like, hey, he's like, oh, I didn't know you were going to be here. I'm like, we talked 3 times this week, 3 times. And I told her I was going to be here. I was like, you just don't listen to me. He doesn't listen to me.
How was his prep going? Did you ask him?
It got canceled apparently.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I started laughing because then I was sitting there with my Aunt Maria. She's the oldest. My dad's the youngest. She was the one, I had to hear how she brought him over from the old country as he clung to her neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why my father bought me a seat for him because he clung to my neck the whole time, Stephanie, like this.
Oh,
I'm like, okay.
Thank you very much.
I've heard this story 1,400 times, but I'll sit here with you, Auntie. It's great. It's fine. It's cute and made me laugh. But behind me was a table of my cousin Moses's wife's family.
Mm-hmm.
Also Portuguese, also very involved, also like second or third cousins of my other side of the family. So there's a little close relationship where everybody knows everybody. We were all raised in the same village.
Right.
Everybody knows your business. And
Right.
it's actually Mackenzie's, my ex-husband's family side on the back side.
Okay.
So then all the Carita. I'm like, what? You look exactly like your grandmother. I know you never met her because she died when my dad was 9.
Yeah.
She passed.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I didn't know her. Cliff's grandmother knew her. They had the same pediatrician in Portugal.
You're kidding.
No. So they knew each other.
Wow.
Because everybody knows everybody. If you're from St. Michael, everybody knows everybody. You've known my family. And so they're talking and they were like, you look exactly like her. So my cousin Betty said, I'm going to send you the photo of your grandmother. And she goes, do me a favor. She always wore this like braid across the top.
Right.
She goes, please braid your hair like that and take a photo side by side so you can send it to everybody because it's going to freak everybody out.
Did you?
You actually, no, she hasn't sent it to me yet.
Okay.
So I'm waiting. I connected with my cousin Terry. We made big plans. I connected with my cousin Joe, who I haven't seen in a while, which by the way, his daughter Jeannie lives 1 mile from my brother.
Oh, gosh.
I said, so I called my brother. I was like, did you know? He's like, I don't even know these people.
Right. Well, one of them lives a mile from you.
I said, well, we're going to go to New York and you're going to see your cousin because this is what we do. But he's the youngest. So my dad's side of my dad's the youngest on that side. So all of my cousins were way older than me always.
Yeah. So
we were the young ones. And then when my brother was born, it was like, we don't,
where did he come from?
Right. A distant relative.
Yeah.
Because I'm 20 years older than my brother. So it's just like, it was the swath of age brackets at this party were really, really cool. So it was nice to connect with everybody in the fam. And yes, Uncle Dave, everybody was asking for you because apparently Armando was like, I went to high school with your Uncle Dave. I was like, okay. Yeah. So we heard all about the Fahey's and the Campions over there. So yeah, you were definitely mentioned this weekend. I heard a little birdie's coming up to visit us this week. So I'll have the other side of the family visiting us from Florida this week.
Oh, really?
Why do you people make me leave Cape Cod in the summer? Can't you just come to me?
Right.
We have a huge party going on at the Mashpee Commons on Sunday. It is our wing stock. We have the bone sauce coming to visit us. This is a national award-winning wing sauce.
Yes.
That is coming to the Cape, and they are cooking for us. I am so excited to have Joe come and showcase his wings. And we've got Brendan Princey, who's going to be playing some tunes for us at the market. I believe we have live lobster pickup from one of our fishing vessels out of Sandwich. So I've got to confirm that today.
And you and I are going to be broadcasting live. So this is a big show on Sunday over at the Farmers Market. If you've not been yet, please come and visit us. It is right across from the Mashpee Library in the Knockabout Beer Garden area, that nice green lawn. You can come, bring a lawn chair, enjoy the tunes. We've got plenty. Lauren knocked it out of the park this past weekend. It was Kids Week. She was excellent. Oh, my God. The energy on that girl.
Honestly, she's pretty magical. And Hank, you did a really nice job filling in for Mariana.
I registered 30 kids for the program.
Right.
So I said to Mariana, you get your work cut out for you next week.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was really cool. And you're doing the program every week now.
Every single week. So you can come bring the kids, they get a little token and they can pick a fruit or a vegetable. We reimburse our farmers after the market. Thank you very much, the Mashpee Chamber of Commerce, that is helping us with that program. It's pretty fantastic. So really, there's food trucks, there's entertainment, there's stuff for the kids to do, and you can just sit and relax. And it looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Yes, it does. So what happens is if you got a coin this week, come back next week, come back to the table, tell Mariana your name. She'll find your card. She'll give you another coin.
Yeah. Yep. That's it.
That is. And you can, this is a great way, parents, to like trick the kids into trying something.
Yeah. Your wife also wants to know why you were laughing so hard about hot grandmas. Girl, you are a hot grandma.
What? Whatever.
I love it. Too fun. Yeah. Alert the APD. Your aunt is en route. It's going to be a good time. 5 great places to have your second date. So a friend of mine fairly recently went on her first date. And politics aside, life aside, she's just at that age. It's like 30, where you're really starting to actually date people for a real purpose, right?
Right.
And they had a really good first date. Nothing happened. They're, keeping it casual. The next morning they went to the beach, did a beach walk. Where is a good place for a second date? It's so awkward to go on a date. Like, you don't want to get too boozy. You don't want to be too crazy. You don't want to go too partying. You actually want to get to know this person.
Right.
I mean, you can't just take up 4 hours in a restaurant in the summer.
Oh, God, no.
You know what I mean? You can't just have a leisurely date at this point when you go to a restaurant right now, this time of year. It's like, get in with the purpose and get out, because the reservations and people breathing down your neck for another table.
Right.
So,
and by the way, don't complain about the prices. Really, it's the Cape. Just stop it.
We're going to have one of those shows fairly recently. I promise. We're getting it together. So, like, what's a good place for a second date?
Well, that's an interesting, not having been on a second date in a very long time.
Right?
I have no idea what I would do.
Singles out there, where is a good place? 5 great places for a second date. This one says museums. Well, at least there's air conditioning.
Right.
And you can slowly stroll around.
Right. And if you decide you don't like each other, there are usually different wings in the museum.
You know what? We're members of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, and it's such a great place to have a date. There's a garden. There's cute little nooks and crannies all for you, like, to sit and have a conversation. Just don't pick a Saturday or a Sunday where it's bopping. Go in like weird times, or like right before close or right before open. Their cafe is really nice. They've got really good food there too. Movies are a weird date. You can't talk.
Right.
So if you want to, like, just sit next to somebody, quiet for 2 hours, and decide if they eat too loudly.
Right.
I mean, you can knock some of those things off just by sitting next to somebody and see if their noises bother you or if their smells bother you.
Right.
I guess.
And if you want to know what movies to go see, listen to Lunch Break on Thursdays.
Oh, there you go.
Where we count down the top movies of the week, so you'll know where to go.
Unless it's the Wellfleet Drive-In, where you can be in your car.
But then that could take it to a different level.
Well, I mean, I guess not with the movies that are out there right now. I think it's like Twister and The Fall Guy.
Okay, no, that's not going to help you take it to a different level.
There's also like a playground right in the middle. It's not like the one in Attleboro, the Triborough Cinemas. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Triborough something or other. Yeah, yeah, where you could take it to a different level.
A concert or a theater. Once again, that's like quiet sporting events or something sporty. Women are always afraid to get a little sweaty, it said. Really? That might be fun. I think pickleball is the thing right now. Everybody's talking about pickleball.
And then people are screwing up their knees, I'm told.
Not good. Not good.
I know a lot of people several people who play pickleball who tell me how bad their knees are now.
I had such a great day in the gym last Tuesday, and then I couldn't walk for the rest of the week. So.
And you haven't gone back since?
I'm going back today.
Oh, okay.
She texts me every morning. You coming? Yeah.
Okay. Nope, too busy. Appointments. Stephanie's already told me she's got a full agenda today. Before we started, she goes, meetings all day.
I do. I have meetings all day today. So I was like, can I squeeze that in? I don't know. Heather threw out pool aerobics today. That sounds more like my speed today.
Right.
But if it's going to rain, I'm not going to be down for that.
Mm-hmm.
Basari Art or Tea Room in Dennis. That's actually a really good spot, Megan.
Yeah.
Good call. I like a tea room. Sure. Mm-hmm. I love the Dunbar Tea House.
Yes,
Sandwich.
we haven't been there in a long time.
Right?
Mara used to take Megan there all the time. That was their kind of mother-daughter thing.
Yeah.
And it worked out. It worked out really well. They had a nice time. Megan used to like the cucumber sandwiches.
Yeah. I love their scones.
Yes.
It's actually just the cream that goes along with the scone. I don't need the dry piece of toast.
Which reminds me, give
me the whipped cream.
I have a rhubarb scone from the market that I have to have this morning.
Those are breakfast. So good. So good.
Yes.
Yum. To our friends over at Bramble Bush. So delicious. Their scones are fantastic.
Yes.
I can't talk about politics right now. I'm not talking about any of these stories that are going
I've already decided my TV watching is minimal anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to become even less. Whatever I know, I'm going to read about it. I can't even I could read the same story if I had a choice between here's the story. You can either see it or read it. I'm going to read it. I don't even want to see it.
Yeah.
It just
any side right now. I feel like everyone's so negative. Oh, Rob Schneider, you're talking about AJ, who we had on the show yesterday, stand-up comedian. Yeah, he got to introduce Rob Schneider.
He did
over the weekend.
Very
yeah, he
cool.
did comedy with him. So
Very
that's
cool.
Right? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I know.
AJ, who also wants to be on the here at Lemonade.
Yes,
at
yes.
some point.
He did a great job over at the tent. It was a sweaty one.
Really?
I love the tent at night because it's cool, got a good breeze kick in, side breezes. Not when they've cut the tent in half.
Yes.
And it's during the day where it's still 85 degrees out.
Right. It doesn't work.
I was like, oh, my menopause is kicking in. Hot flashes. I
don't even think the performers are comfortable.
No.
Speaking of which, when we were here, I guess it was here on Thursday, I thought that the Kennedy Center nominees, award winners were going to be announced, and they weren't. They were announced over the weekend.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm segueing to this is one of the Kennedy Center honorees just played the tent, Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, okay. I like Bonnie.
Yeah. Two of the honorees are Bonnie Raitt and the Grateful Dead. How cool a show is that going to be?
Very interesting.
Yes. I forget what the other three are, but I just like Bonnie Raitt, Grateful Dead. Boom. It's they film it on early December, and they show it December 26th.
And John Mayer, you got your shine.
That's right.
Hey, he's brought them back around.
He has.
Company, really. I mean, that they draw.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people have been at Fenway for huge shows. I know Noah Khan was over the weekend, and I think absolutely every human was at that show. I have never seen, but he is just such an incredible folk singer.
Right.
And he's from Vermont.
Yep.
And he's like, never in the world would I have thought that I would fill Fenway 2 days in a row.
Right.
With this amount of love. I mean, it was just really, really incredible. Super open about talking about absolutely everything.
Yep.
So it's just, I love his music. He's so good.
Like John Mayer bringing back the Grateful Dead, Adam Lambert and Queen.
Yeah. Right.
I didn't know that. I just saw this thing on Reels from Adam Lambert. When he went to audition for the show, he was the cutoff age is like 27, and he was almost 27. You couldn't be considered a quote unquote professional.
Right.
So he had been working in theater and everything else. He was in Wicked or something, and he had to cut all that off. And when he went into audition, he sang a Michael Jackson song, and he could tell it wasn't working. And he said to them, should I sing something else? And they said, what do you got? And he said, I've got a song by Queen. And he sang that song, a song by Queen.
Yeah.
That's the one that we saw on TV.
Yep.
And here we are all these years later, he's fronting Queen.
Isn't that wild?
Yep.
You never know where your life is going to take you. So always say yes to these opportunities. I had this conversation with my kids fairly recently when we were traveling. And that's what I said to them. I said, you just never know. Like, don't just shut it off because you don't like this part of it. Like they tend to be so, especially Lil, very over analytical about where it's going to go and what's going to happen. And as we're talking these college conversations and as we're talking about where life goes, I said, did you ever think that I'd be here running a farmer's market? Like, did you ever think that we'd be doing these things? No, never in my wildest dreams. But this is all stuff I really like to do and get involved in with our community. So you just never know. Take these experiences and go for a ride. You're 18 years old.
Right. You never know.
Check it out.
I mean, did I think at my age I'd be back on the radio again?
Right?
Hell no. But here I am.
I know, right?
On the radio, on YouTube, all this other stuff. It's cool.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. So we have got a full boatload of things going on this week. If you're ever looking for something to do, eventsoncape.com. That's where you can go. That's our website. Events on Cape Cod is our group on Facebook. We're about to hit 5,000 people within this group. And it's a great community. And people are dropping all kinds of fun, cool stuff I never would have found myself being interested in. And I'm like, I'm putting that on my list. Even if it's for the fall, think ahead because we're always busy in the summer. But if you've got stuff going on in September, October, November that you want people to know about and put on their calendar right now, please throw them on the eventsoncape.com, whether it's a fundraiser or whether it's just a cool artsy vibe. Don't forget to stop on by the Mashpee Chamber of Commerce. You can bop right in there in the Mashpee Commons and grab one of our guides. We have got our visitors guide and our community directory. great articles in there. And if you're looking for a store or shopping or anything like that, Ashley Irene wrote a nice little article about some fun places for you to check out. Demetrius over at Steeple Street Music wrote in the arts and entertainment section. And if you're looking for the best lobster roll in Mashpee, if you're looking for where to play mini golf, or just to have a good time, or you're looking for a plumber, this is where you can find it.
And plumbers are hard to find, let me tell you.
Honestly, I know. I was having this conversation with one of my cousins over the weekend.
Yep.
And he's an electrician, and he's like, they got me on these jobs in Chelsea, but that's where the work is right now. I'm like, you should drive to Chelsea every day.
Come to the Cape for crying out loud.
At least
Oh
you get
my
a sea
gosh.
breeze around here. We need electricians.
Oh, Mari gets asked all the time, you got a guy who?
I know.
Fortunately, she has a list of guys, electricians and plumbers and
She's
painters
quite the directory over there.
and all that stuff. Oh yeah, she knows people, and then she knows people who know people, and
Right. So between the two of us, I think we got it handled.
yeah.
Leave it to a couple of Attleboro girls.
Yes.
Who are you looking for? Hold on, I'll get you that. We'll connect you.
We got one of them.
It's like I'm working a switchboard operator for AT&T back in the 80s. It's great. All right, so follow us, and we will see you at the Barnstable County Fair on Wednesday. It's Demolition Derby Day. The show starts at 7 o'clock, but do not think you're going to walk in there and get a spot on the bleachers, regardless of the weather, because it is going to be full. Get ready to smash and crash and have a great time. And whatever it is you do this week, have a good time doing it. Hank, you've got your date night on Thursday. What else is going on lunch break?
Well, coming up today on lunch break, we're going to talk about some things that we were taught in history class that we were told were true.
Oh,
and they're not.
The lies.
Lies. Like in ancient history, that Nero fiddled while Rome burned. Didn't happen. And I'll tell you why.
Oh, I'm actually looking forward to this show.
Coming up at noontime on lunch break on Lemonadio.
Oh, perfect. All right, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. He didn't fiddle, huh?
No, he didn't fiddle because the violin hadn't been invented.